Welcome to the Psychotic Opinion, where genius and insanity meet. I'm your host, call me Fish. I'm Phyllis and I am reading for Fish. This is an introductory video. It is not intended to replace news stations or mental health professionals. It is an opinion channel or entertainment channel. This video is about psychosis, however, this channel is not only about mental health. I am a psychotic, and that's my preferred term. I am not here to make you agree with my opinions. I just think someone out there might find it interesting. Oftentimes, I will show the source on screen to be transparent on that front. I am always open to debate, but I will maintain my anonymity. I'm going to share some basics about being psychotic and add a personal touch. So let's get rolling.
Look up the definition of collect.
I meant
Let me look up the definition of
psychotic. The definition of psychotic is relating to a psychosis, suffering from a psychosis, or a person suffering from a psychosis. But what is a psychosis? Let's look that up as well. Psychosis is a severe mental disorder in which thought and emotions are so impaired that contact is lost with external reality. Let's look over here at this image. It lists some of the symptoms of psychosis, the major one being disconnection from reality. There are delusions. These can be the worst part of a psychosis. Just imagine the fear or upset you would feel if you believed someone wanted to kill you, or how about even worse, thinking that you caused someone to die. It is important to note that every delusion with psychosis is unique to the person. One woman had thought she was Winnie the Pooh. I imagine she didn't experience the same level of fear as I did. Then we have hallucinations. I know often we think of hallucinations as visions, but the term includes hearing voices called auditory hallucination and tactile hallucinations. An example could be feeling an angel grab you. A common question is, what do the voices sound like? Nowadays there is a way anyone can experience the haunting sensation of hearing voices. Pause now and search. Schizophrenia simulation. When you are denial still be here. Glad you made it back. Let's move on. Talking incomprehensibly, more commonly known as word salad. Word salad happens because a psychotic's brain is disorganized. Let's experiment. Say 3 random words. Think about those words. Are they random? My hypothesis is that a normal person can't come up with 3 random words because the person's brain is organized and it looks for connections and logic. Tell me in the comments how it went for you. Fish. We can't really just use Google to make a video. The audience is going to get bored. That doesn't make it okay. Yes, take a deep breath, Fish. Let's talk about hallucinations and how I deal with them. The first thing you need to know is this is not medical advice. Some of these things I would strongly recommend, others I suggest you simply do not do. Number 1. Take your medicine. Yes, the medications have severe and unpleasant side effects, but taking your medicine and following your doctor's advice is the best way to recover. We will discuss side effects in short in a different video. Some patients return mostly to normal after taking antipsychotics as prescribed, but if you don't get there, you still will be able to think clearer and hopefully challenge the thoughts in your head. Number 2. Acceptance. Note: acceptance does not mean do not treat. Always report these kinds of symptoms to your doctor. Coming to the realization you have the psychotic disorder, whether it's bipolar, schizophrenia, or any other type, allows you to challenge false memories and hallucinations. If you see a black blur in your vision, you should be able to realize you are hallucinating and keep some rationality. Take a deep breath and try to remain calm. It will be over. Number 2.1. Don't obsess. There is no need to panic while you are aware of a hallucination. You don't have to go to the psych ward over it, but do bring it up with your doctor. I'm aware this is easier said than done. How do you work on not obsessing? My suggestion is to use grounding. This is a bit of a new age thing, but it is something I have used in therapy. Just say to yourself, hey, I'm hallucinating. I'm at home, there is no danger here. It will be over soon. Remind yourself where you actually are and don't worry over the past or the future. Number 3. Pre-action. Can't say this is something you can do at all. It is something I luckily did with my subconsciousness. When I was roughly 10 years old, I met one of the voices in my head. Let's call him Malcolm. Malcolm asked me if I was ready, and I knew he wasn't real. I told him I would be, and for whatever reason I would leave things behind in my hallucinations. What does this all mean? It means leaving behind clues. In one hallucination I saw a clashing of two rival gangs. But I knew it wasn't real because one side was wearing blue shirts and the other was wearing red shirts, and seeing this makes it easy to see it as false. Number 3.2. This probably will help more for most. Looking for falsehoods. In this quote memory, are you upside down, outside of your body? Can you smell anything? If the memory or hallucination is you looking at yourself, if it is, then it's probably is fake. Do a little analysis and take your medicine. Number 4. Getting sleep. I know it's hard, but sleep is healing to the mind. If you can get to sleep, then don't make silly excuses like, oh, when I finish this level I noticed staying awake will lead to hearing voices. Number 5. Poof. It's an illusion. You are in the middle of a hallucination and you know it's not real, but it is still there. One thing I discovered is in some cases, I can reach out and attempt to touch the black blur, and when I do, the vision disappears. My hypothesis is one sense can cancel out the other. Your hand knows it's not there, and your eyes realize it's not there because your hand knows. This doesn't work all the time, because the vision may be too far away or on a person's face and you don't want to poke out someone's eyes. Number 6. Don't get high, and don't get drunk. Taking substances damages your brain and can throw you into a full psychotic episode. Number 7. Mental suppression and mind control. This may sound scary, but you will be in complete control. The secret to mental suppression is to simply ignore it. When your voices are calling your name, can you hear us? What do you do? Say, hey, Malcolm, go F yourself and divert your attention. Play your favorite video game, read a book, wander into a daydream, or whatever suits you. As you find the secret of distraction, you will notice that the voices quiet down. 8 is kind of close to 7. Key phrase. There is no magical phrase one can give you, but with hope you'll find your own. You're probably thinking, what in the world is this nutter going to say next? Here it is. When I start to freak, I say aloud, I need a beer every time I say this phrase in an anxiety attack or just not having happy thoughts. I can, without missing a beat, either practice my explanation or explain it to the confused people in the room. I don't drink beer, I'm not going to say never ever, and I use those words to draw my mind away. Forgetfulness does suck, but it can help in strange ways. Number 9. You don't have ADD. I know I'm not a doctor, but the past 2 times I had to be hospitalized, there was a psychotic person who had taken ADD medication. ADD is treated with stimulants. What happens if you use stimulants with a psychotic disorder? You have a psychotic break and have to be hospitalized. The trouble you have focusing is a part of your psychotic disorder and it is treated with antipsychotics, not stimulants. Also, you can improve your focus through practice. Perhaps we'll make a video on that. The issue is if you describe your lack of focus to a general practitioner, it sounds like ADD, but they don't have the qualifications to know how your psychotic or schizophrenic brain will interact with ADD drugs. I recommend asking a professional in the field of psychiatry if you have doubts. Number 10. Should I research? This is something I have been told by a medical professional to never do. So I can't advise it, and you need to be completely aware of the danger. The issue is researching things dealing with your delusions or false memories can and sometimes do merge with your delusions. I understand that completely. My healthcare provider nearly yelled at me to not research, but I didn't listen. I really didn't know much about the topic of delusion. I was taking my medication, but I still thought these things. I broke the rules and typed it into Google. I read 2 sentences on the topic and my anxiety dropped by 50%. This happened because those 2 sentences disprove the mistaken information I was basing the whole thing on. It has never added to my delusion, and if it tries, I am prepared. This probably isn't the way for everyone, so don't try this at home. Well, these weren't all about hallucinations, but they are all the things I use. Please don't tell my therapist I've said all this. She's a pain in the neck. One last thing. The symptoms listed previously are not a comprehensive list. If you experience any of the symptoms explained here, please contact a medical professional. If you are concerned about cost, contact the Department of Mental Health, and if nothing else, use my friend Google to find resources. There is always a way, so don't use money as an excuse to not get help. If the person is left in a psychotic state for extended periods, it does make it harder to get back to normal. Now, that's all. Thanks for watching. To the less than 10 people who bothered to click on this video,